Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. I'm Tristan. I hope you're having a great day today. This episode is brought to you by my coaching, abrillianttribe.com. Check us out. That's where I help you get to where you want to get to. Now, these episodes are meant to be short, 5 minutes, no longer than 10 minutes, and they're meant to keep you motivated and also give you actionable things to make your business run more smoothly or to even get you more business. Now, I just finished talking to a group of about 100 people yesterday, and it was on this topic specifically. I'm going to give you the shorter version so that you're not here for an hour, but it's based on an essay I wrote that then got published on Success Magazine or in Success Magazine, and I've refined it a little bit since, but it's all based on my experiences in running different businesses and working in corporate and a lot of other different jobs. Has to do with relationships. In fact, it's the secret to relationships. Here are the 6 things. And for you, as you're listening, I want you to think of this. There are a lot of changes happening in our industry right now, and people are scared. Either doesn't matter if you think it's necessarily scared or unnecessarily, right? It's all perspective. The point is, people are scared. And this right here will solve a big challenge, problem, will solve for that because we're focused on the most important piece of being alive, which is those relationships. Relationships get you to where you want to get to. Relationships open up opportunities. Relationships. It's all about relationships every single time. So you need to do a better job in creating amazing relationships. You need to do a better job in nurturing your relationships. You just need to do a better job overall in all of your relationships. And with that, number 1, you've got to check your energy. When in doubt, I always say, ask yourself 2 questions, and I'm going to read these to you. Number 1, how do I want to make people feel when I talk to them, when they engage me, when they see me, right? And how can I get this person to connect with me? That means that you're thinking 2 things. 1 is first, right? It's like, wait a second. How are they feeling when they're talking to me? I got to check my energy. Am I showing up to this meeting? Am I checking my phone? Am I looking at them and listening to them? Because that piece, that listening, the eye contact, all of that matters to the other person. They want to make sure that they are landing whatever they're saying to you, that it's impactful to you. They want to feel significant, right? So think about that. That's why I always think, how do I want to make people feel when I talk to them? How can I get this person to connect with me? Which leads me to the next ones, because they're all in order. Number 2, as I'm talking to someone, as I'm building this relationship long-term, as I'm nurturing this relationship, if I'm in a relationship with anyone, business or romantic relationship, like with my wife or even my kids, it's important, number 2, to be vulnerable. And I wrote this out. I'm just going to read this to you. This isn't a natural skill for most people. The default response, especially with strangers, is to keep ideas and emotions close to the chest. It makes us feel protected. We think we're keeping out the bad things, such as having our ideas stolen, looking weak, or being judged. But in reality, we're shutting out some amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. The thing about being vulnerable that I've learned over the time with lots of different successful people, and not just financially successful, different types of success, is that when you open up first, there's a feeling of sincerity. There's a feeling of truthfulness. And I open up really fast because I actually hate all of this garbage that goes back and forth. Listen, just tell me who you are. Boom, here I am. And people love that. People connect with you deeper because there is no blockade. There is no wall. There's no filter in a sense. Because if I mean something, if I'm struggling with something, if I'm having a challenge or a problem, I will tell you. And people appreciate that. And it opens up the conversation to go further because that creates a sense of trust. In fact, when you go first, they immediately open up about a challenge they're having, which is very interesting to me. Number 3, empathize. What I wrote here is, when your empathy for someone goes deep, you're truly connecting because they can feel it. See, to me, this one, number 3, empathize, it goes back to that idea or that quote that you've heard, which is people don't really care about what you've got to say, what you've got to sell, or anything you bring until they know you care about them. And that's true. You know that's true. You see it. And so this is where you have to put out there. It's like, wait a second, they're first, right? Servant leader. Leaders eat last. Similar idea. Because you put other people first, what happens is it opens up all of these opportunities. Because people know that you care. They feel like you understand them. Because not only are you listening, but you're also putting them, in a sense, first. People open up there. There's a lot to this one, but again, these are short, not meant to go for an hour. Number 4, add value to people's lives. For me, I'm always thinking, I ask myself one question, I'm going to read it to you. How can I make myself better so I can help others? And when I'm thinking of adding value to other people's lives, if we're thinking real estate related, well, I'm always educating myself. I'm always understanding what's actually going on with any type of settlement, right? Any settlement. That's why I was first to do the video. I dove in, called the right people, understood it, then put it out. And then everyone else started doing those videos for our industry. This way of life creates a habit. And that habit is that you're always absorbing knowledge. You're always learning. You're always seeing what else is next as far as that knowledge you can add to your arsenal so that you can share it when you understand it. Because people want to hang out with other people that have value, right? And the sense of value changes from person to person. So if we're going in real estate, what value does your audience have? What value does your audience need? What do they need? And then ask yourself, do I have that value? And if not, how can I attain it? How can I grow it? That's an important question you should be asking, because I see a lot of you trying to break into luxury, trying to get more business in a specific community, trying to get more clients in this area or that area. But are you even offering value to that audience? And I'm just being real estate specific here, but take that to romantic relationships or business relationships. It's the exact same thing. That's how I've been able to grow. Value. Number 5, show your appreciation. For me, I wrote here, I don't know if you remember the book or if you've ever read it. If you haven't, you've got to read it. The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts by Gary Chapman. For me, showing appreciation, number 1, is just obviously being sincere and looking for opportunities to thank others, looking for opportunities to show others that they're important in your life, that you value them, that you value their time, their words, but also understanding, along the Love Languages book, understanding what's important to them. What is important to them? And I've got the 5 right here for you. That way, if you want to just do a little quick summary: words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, gifts. Those are the 5. And I wrote here, which of the 5 makes your person smile? Use that love language to reinforce the relationship. Right now, think about it a little bit more along the lines of business. You think, okay, who am I dealing with here? What do they love? It takes that empathy, right? It's in order. See why I go back to it? What's important to this person? How am I bringing value? Wait a second. How can I show them that I actually appreciate them? Who doesn't want to feel like they're appreciated? I mean, look at social media. We post something And what do we want? We want likes and comments and private messages. It's all psychological. Relationships, right? Relationships. Big, big piece to this. And the last one, number 6, you've got to be consistent. The people that you're building relationships with have to know that you are going to be the same person that they know you're going to be over and over and over and over and over again. Because if you're not at one point and you let them down, they won't forget that. You've got to show up. And it goes back to number 1. You've got to show up with energy, right? Check your energy. You've got to be vulnerable. You've got to empathize. You've got to consistently add value. You've got to show your appreciation. You've got to be consistent. That's it. This one went probably one of the longest I've done, 10 minutes. Have a nice day. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need this, I've got this. Just message me on Instagram.